Ain't no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come and shut me down. Hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. I'ma rep my city and salute my town. Said ain't no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come and shut me down. I'ma hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. And I'm ready for whatever, and I still stand proud. Ain't no way. Who you think you kidding, dude? Never thought that I would do.
What up, though? It is your boy Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313. And as always, we are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And this is episode 75. Yes, it has been a long journey, but it's great to get to 75 episodes. As always, this episode is brought to you by WSN, the Wrestling Society Network. If you have a Roku, Apple TV, or the Amazon Fire Stick, download the app. They got a lot of cool wrestling content on there, documentaries, wrestling shows from independent promotions. They got a show that they used the WWE video game. They started a promotion off of that. So it's a lot of cool stuff on there. Also go to the WSN website where you can sign up for a free account there. Check out a lot of wrestling content on there as well. And also go to the podcast room where you can check out a lot of cool wrestling podcasts in the IWC, Wrestling from the 313 being one of them. And also join their WSN Patreon page. It's free to join, but if you want to get the exclusive stuff, they do have some membership tiers and a lot of cool stuff that comes with those tiers too. So check that out. And today, my guest is he got his own podcast. He's the host of the Tino's Time podcast. You can catch him on TikTok. His podcast is on YouTube. Tino, what up, though? And welcome to Wrestling from the 313.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on. I'm ready to talk some wrestling and chat. And, you know, it's all good. It's a good time right now. We got Royal Rumble over, WrestleMania season's on the horizon, Elimination Chambers coming to the Midwest. I'll be going there live, so I'm ready to go. You know,
that's what's up.
I appreciate you having me on and ready to talk.
No problem, no problem. And if you are watching this episode, leave us a comment. If you got a question for either one of us, or if you something that you got on your mind that you want to say that's wrestling related, just leave it in the comments and we'll discuss it. So let's get
ugly, you know. Gotta love it.
Right. So let's start off for anyone who might not know you yet. Tell us a little bit about Tino's Time podcast and what inspired you to start it and what makes your show different.
Well, I am Tino from Tino's Time. What's up, guys? Appreciate you. But I have been doing podcasting. We were just talking about it for 6 years. And I started with baseball and football. I'm a big baseball and football guy. I love baseball. I play fantasy. I do all of the things. And maybe not the best choice in sports teams, as I root for all the Chicago sports teams besides the Cubs. But, you know, it is what it is. But I'm dedicated and I support my teams no matter what it is. Up, down, bad, ugly, win or loss. So I'm one of those, and I've always wanted to. In my whole life, my parents are like, "You have that voice. You're ready to do it. You should go out there." I know, like, I used to write like raps. I used to have like notebooks of just stats, and when the Sox were in the World Series, I would just have I literally had a whole notebook full of just stuff from 2005 that was just. I wish I still had it and could show everybody, but it was kind of ridiculous at like 9 years old. So I've always been a huge sports fan, and wrestling has kind of always been that thing that kind of was like my escape, was always the thing I could always go to. It's on all year round. And when I first started doing the podcasting and everything, like I said, I started with baseball and football, but my whole family and friends were like, why don't you do wrestling? You've been watching forever since 2005. I always say the first show I ever watched was the Royal Rumble 2005 with John Cena and Batista, where they had the double elimination and then Vince McMahon tore his Achilles. At the time, I didn't know what the hell happened, but now I know it's kind of funny. So, and, you know, and that's the thing. So when I started doing it, I was kind of afraid to get on YouTube. I was kind of afraid to have myself on camera and be what I'm doing right now. And I was just like, you know, I'm finally going to go and do it. So WrestleMania 38, I started going live for all the shows. WrestleManias, Raw, SmackDowns, NXTs, AEWs at the time. and I just come and hang out and do watch-alongs. I play the video games. I do preview shows. I have other episodes. We've been a part of the YouTube partnership for a couple of years. I do like membership only things and stuff like that. So I'm just one of those people that loves wrestling, loves sports. I'm here and I try to be as authentic as possible. I'm not going to be that person to have a fake reaction, be like that person that wants to try to get on the shows. As cool as it would be to be on SmackDown or Raw, I'm not just going to have a fake reaction to have a fake reaction. You know, because I look at the realistic things in wrestling. Like, I would love for certain people to win the championships all the time, but just not what's going to happen. But yeah, since WrestleMania 38, I've been live probably 80% of the time. I do miss shows here and there, but it's become that thing where people now are like, if I miss a show, they're like, where are you? Are you okay? Where's Tino at? Tino's live all the time, every day. I mean, I've had people that give me nicknames. I don't even give myself that. They say Mr. No Days Off. And people are like, if you want to find Tino, he's always live. And it's funny because I'm a part of the Main Event Network. Shout out to them over there. And they go and they always make comments. They're like, when they're doing shows, they're like, Tino's probably live streaming the shows now on his channel and everything. But I've just kind of become that live stream guy. And at the time, I really didn't. And maybe people were doing it. But I kind of feel like at the time, there really weren't a lot of people doing watch-alongs. Where, yes, it's not that exciting to sit here and just look at my face and whatever. And I wish I could show the screen. But there's also a lot of people that I know that I've met that don't have the money and have the ability to go and get Netflix and Peacock and ESPN Unlimited. So I have a few friends that I've met throughout the years that come and hang out specifically for that reason, and they want to watch. And yes, I know sometimes I'm not the best commentator in the world, but I do my best, and I try my best to entertain people. So doing this and having this journey, I just recently, Saturday was our biggest viewing episode that we had. We gained over like 300 subscribers. We're like 100 away to 4,000. So
wow,
for me,
congratulations.
I've always been that person, and I do open up and I talk about it. I have cerebral palsy, so I have a disability. I have my whole left side is kind of, so for me, the fact that I have 100 people, 100 people, 50 people, 10 people, I never thought I'd have one person watch me. So the fact I am where I am, I just appreciate all of it. And no matter if it is what it is, I'm still going to keep doing it. And like I said, I've had episodes where I've sat there and watched Raw for 3 hours with 30 people. And then I had the one with the Royal Rumble, and I've had almost 100,000 people. So it's just one of those things. But it's sometimes for me not about the numbers. It's about, meeting the people, hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of things and opened up a lot in the last 5 years that I didn't think I'd ever would have. So that's a big thing for me too, where I just try to, put my knowledge and bring something. And like I said, it's become to where people look forward to watching me and coming and hanging out every day. So I kind of feel like if I don't go live, I'm like, well, now I'm kind of letting people down, and I hate doing that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But
hey, congratulations on your watch along too. Those are big numbers. Almost 100,000 views. That's big.
And that's the thing too, where I just it's always been so hard for me to talk to people, and the fact that I think about it where and I see like the pictures, and it's like you think about it, like if 100 people were in front of me, I don't know if I could sit here and do this. I'd be like, there's a lot of people looking at me. So it just it's kind of insane, the fact where it just, but so that's kind of where I'm at with that, where I love watching. I've always loved wrestling, and I'm happy I can tell people. And there's a lot of things that I know that I'm like, dang, people they make me feel old now. When people say like, I don't remember Rey Mysterio winning the Royal Rumble in 2006, or WrestleMania 24 is almost 20 years old now. What the hell?
Right. But you know what? I like watch-alongs. You know what I'm saying? I watch watch-alongs while I'm watching the PLE sometimes. Yeah. I think it's just cool to see other people's reactions, and it's just like you said, like a lot of people might not have the money to get all of these apps to watch WWE, because you need like 5-6 different apps just to watch almost every show.
Thing, it was like $239 a month. They said you have to have every app to be able to watch all the content. And it's like, it's like we paid $40 a month to watch it on pay-per-view, sometimes $80 if there were 2 pay-per-views on every other week.
Yeah.
And it just, there were times where we'd have to wait or I'd have to not watch. I remember getting the network, and that was when I watched all of the pay-per-views I didn't have. I remember I had a list written down of just pay-per-views I never watched. I was like, when they network comes out, I'm going to watch them all. And now I've watched them all. So, thankfully, but,
Yeah.
makes it sound bad too. I watch too much wrestling sometimes.
All right. That's what's up. So, what's been the biggest challenge so far in podcasting, and what made you realize, like, yeah, this is really working?
I mean, for me, it's like I said, it's about not getting upset if they're not. I have a lot of people that get upset because they're like, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? Why are you doing this? And it's one of those things I try to stay as consistent as possible. And I forgot where I was going with this now. What was your question again? Can you repeat? Oh,
What's
challenges.
Yeah.
My bad. There we go.
No, you're good.
All over the place. But yeah, I mean, the challenges I found is that it just to make sure that you stay consistent and you continue to, because there's going to be some episodes that I have, like I said, like I have 60 episodes or 60 views, and there's some I have like 3,000 views. And I've been doing this, as I said, since 2020. I finally looked it up because I get myself confused. I always say WrestleMania 38 was when I started YouTube. You can still go back and watch it. I always tell people it's kind of funny. The first like 20 minutes, it was echoing, it was this and that. You couldn't hear shit. It was so funny. But it's one of those things that I've learned a lot, and there's things that happen, and that's the thing too. We have audio issues. If you can't hear me, shit happens. It is what it is. Don't freak out. Fix it and whatever. And there's been times where I've had to stop episodes and everything, but don't get discouraged, because there's going to be times where the numbers have finally just started noticing for me, where I've, like I said, been doing this for now 4 years almost, that I'm now just getting over a couple thousand every Raw and SmackDowns, where, like I said, there were times where I was watching it for 3 hours and we were getting 50 views. And there were times, like I had a streak going for a while where it was funny, where it was at 1 subscriber an episode, where we were gaining at least 1 subscriber an episode. And it's just one of those things, though, where it wasn't about that. It was just about me staying consistent. And as I said, just knowing that every week I'm there for people, because, like I said, there's people that look forward to watching me. And like I said, if I'm not live, it's so my comment section is so funny sometimes. They're like, "Are you okay?" It's like, guys, I'm like, I'm watching the Bears playoff game, or I'm freaking, whatever it may be. So it's just, but that's the biggest thing. Don't stay discouraged, because, like I said, there's people that they grow how they grow, and it's gonna happen. I always say everything happens for a reason. So, because I've been doing this for a while. I also went to school in 2018 for broadcasting. I went to Illinois Media School. So I did kind of learn a lot of things in that time, but there was also a lot of things that they didn't teach me. But that's why I always say, I mean, everybody goes at their own rate and everybody learns, and it is what it is. And it's not, sometimes it's about the numbers, but it sucks that that's what the world has become. It's all about the numbers. It's all about who's got the most likes, who's got the most views, all the most subscribers, blah, blah, blah. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be where, like, we can't interact with, like, the top content creators because they got 1 million subscribers and you got 2,000. So what? We're still talking wrestling. Like, it shouldn't matter.
Right.
And that's my thing, where I just hate the, and the tribalism and all of that. So. But yeah, that's what I always like to tell people, is just stay consistent and just don't get discouraged, because it's going to happen. And like I said, it just started happening with me, where I finally feel like that it's like, because for a long time, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? It's like, well, hopefully it all works out eventually. But if I stop doing it, then people are going to be like, I'm not going to watch this guy. He's never here. And and it's funny, since those 6 years, I went through a lot of people that have said, "Oh, let's start a podcast. Will you be my co-host?" I'm like, "Yeah, like, let's go." Because I'm always, if somebody asks me to be a guest on a show, I'm ready to say yes. I love meeting new people. I want to meet everybody. And there's a lot of people that were like, they're like, "Oh, well, we're not doing this. We're not doing that." And it's just like, for me, if you don't show up one time with the podcasting, we could be friends. I could talk wrestling, but I'm not going to ask you to be on the show, because it takes a lot to make thumbnails, to promote, to go up, to do this, to do that, to all the things. It doesn't just me and you sit down and press record. You had to work on the thumbnails. We had to do all these extra stuff other than just sitting here talking for however long we do. And that's, where I get upset, because it's just like people are like, well, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And it's just, that's why I'm doing it, because you see how much the growth is and how
Yeah.
much it can be. And if you can see, I mean, we see, and I always say people don't have to like him, but Logan Paul, he was literally one of us sitting there at
Uh,
15, 16 years old making YouTube videos. And now he's wrestling John Cena, Roman Reigns, and competing in Royal Rumbles and WrestleManias. And that's what, let's be real, all of us wrestling fans would love to do. And that's why, like, even seeing BDE, Brandon, and TNA right now, it's so cool. And I always like to support whoever I can, because you never know. And again, they might not know I exist, but maybe they do. And there's been a couple of times, I always tell the story. I met the Hardy Boys a couple of years, like 4 or 5 years ago, and I walked up there and I put out a video, because I'm always posting, I'm always doing something. I was like, I'm gonna be at the Hardy Boys show. If you see your boys, say what's up, yada yada yada. And the one person that said something was Matt Hardy. He goes, I saw your video this morning. I go, that's all. And ever since that moment, I'm like, you never know who's watching, and that's all it takes. And like I said, you never know. I've been on TV a couple of times. My Sox hat's been on TV. It's kind of funny. So,
Oh, cool.
Cool. But like I said, I just always like to say, you never know who's watching. You never know what's going to happen, and all it takes is just that one thing. And
yeah.
we're all sitting at WrestleMania.
Yep.
In Detroit,
Hey, that'd be
wherever
my
the heck it goes. We'd be lucky to get one in the Midwest. Shit, it's too cold out here. They don't want to come out here in April.
Right. Yeah, because you coming trying to do a WrestleMania in April, like, it's still a possibility it's snow.
Man, I remember one year it was because me and my dad and my uncle used to go to opening day every year. WrestleMania was on Sunday. Yes, kids, if you're watching, WrestleMania used to be one night on Sunday.
Yep.
I feel so old saying that. But it was snowing on Sunday. The Sox game home opener was on that Monday. And we had no idea if we were going. We were sitting there watching the pay-per-view, and it's snowing outside, and it's like April 4th, I think it was, or some shit. I'm like, this is a joke. And we ended up going. They ended up having the game, but it was like 50 degrees, and I'm like, this is not fun. This is why if all sports teams have a domes, like Detroit, it'd be perfect to have WrestleMania or something, because the Lions got the dome and all of that, But,
yeah, they need to bring it back, because I know they had it there, WrestleMania 23.
Yep. What was it? All Grown Up, and that's the
yeah.
funny
That's
thing
when
too.
they had the hair versus hair match between Trump and Vince McMahon. Yeah.
It's so funny that you say that, because I have a 16-year-old cousin, and I was talking to him, and that's the match that he remembers from the show. I'm like, you don't remember John Cena and Shawn Michaels or Undertaker or the ladder match, Money in the Bank? No, we had Bobby Lashley and Umaga, and again, I love those two. But Donald Trump, it's so funny that's and that's how I remember Donald Trump. I remember having a WrestleMania party. Me and my friends went to 7-Eleven. We got Slurpees, we got candy, and we all came back and we all sat at the house and watched WrestleMania. And I think that's what that's where it's lost its thing. Where I'm excited for WrestleManias now, or even the Royal Rumble this past Saturday. I don't know if you felt the same way, but it doesn't feel the way it used to. I remember being excited. I used to have parties. I used to have all these things, and it just is not what it It was cool to see Brie Bella. It was cool to see other people, but man, what happened to I remember when John Cena returned in 08, or freaking Rob Van Dam in 09, or all these superstars that I don't know.
Yeah.
Wrestling. I've tried to stop watching wrestling, but I think I've went 2 weeks, and then I'm back watching. It's just something. Oh well.
But you know what? I think that's one of the things. I think that's one of the things that hurt having events like the Royal Rumble overseas, because you really can't have the surprises that you could if it was in the States. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if the Royal Rumble this year was in the States, we possibly could have got Chris Jericho in the Rumble, or we possibly could have got someone else. But also, it's I feel like too, I think we kind of getting to that point in wrestling with the Royal Rumble is with all the other wrestlers, the legends getting older, who can you have as a surprise now? You know what I'm saying? Unless you make a call to Tony Khan and be hey, can Edge come and be in the Rumble for the night or something like that? I think
I
that's
wish they could
probably
do stuff like that. That's where it just bothers me that everybody can't work together, and I get it, but I
yeah,
mean, and I even said it too, where we saw Royce Keys, Powerhouse Hobbs, formerly known as. I said Powerhouse Hobbs yesterday during NXT, and one of the people in my chat were literally about to rip my head off. I was like, relax, people. I'm like, give me a second. It took me a minute with Blake Monroe, Mariah May, Ricky Starks. You know, it is what it is. But I
yeah,
kind of said it where it kind of feels like WWE and AEW kind of did a trade. We saw Tommaso Ciampa show up in AEW, win a championship, and
yeah,
Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys showed up in WWE. Like,
yeah,
that's the type of stuff that I would love to be able to see. Or let's have those one-offs where Edge could come back, where he could have came back for John Cena's retirement tour, or with Brie Bella back. Let's see if Bryan Danielson somehow comes back for some type of something and all. I don't know, but I just feel like it shouldn't be where it's this, that, I hate you, you hate me, and everybody has this. And it should be rivalries. It should be
yeah.
like Bears, Packers, freaking.
Lions,
Oh,
Bears.
yeah, I was trying to think about Yankees, Mets. Like that's like those are the
Yeah,
types of rivalries where we should see, and they should be able to have the invasions because that's what's going to bring people to watch wrestling and get more eyes on these shows. And
yeah,
for me, I don't mind the shows being in Saudi just for the simple fact they're on at 1 o'clock. And I don't know why, I don't know about you, but it seems like the views are a lot bigger in Saudi for some reason. But I
mhm,
also am thinking about it. The fact we're gonna have to watch a WrestleMania at 1 o'clock is not that exciting. But then again, it's like, okay, well that's good because then we're not gonna be up until 11 o'clock. Because
yeah,
that's my thing with the WrestleManias, where there were some years I remember WrestleMania 33. It was like 15 hours. Me and my friend, it was like 11:30, and we
yeah,
just got done watching Roman and Undertaker. And it just,
yeah,
that's the one thing I do like about the 2 night WrestleManias. But
yeah,
then it's also with the one night, it felt special. It was like, ooh, I got this WrestleMania. It kind of felt like Super Bowl Sunday, where it was like,
yeah,
it's all about this and that. And that's just, for me, it just doesn't feel that as big, and especially with what Triple H is doing. And I love Triple H, and I try to stick up for him as much as I can. But I'm
mhm,
also not somebody that's going to sit there and argue with somebody about what Triple H is doing. I got better things to do, and I got family, and
right,
try
yeah,
to keep my electric bill on. I always like to say, people are like, yeah, it's like I get it. Like, I'm just not trying to sit here and argue with you. Like, you want to come and hang out, you want to do this and that. I'm going to try to be as energetic if I can. If you don't like it, then that's fine. But again,
mhm.
it's just, I don't know. I'm going all over the place. You can stop me whenever you want. I
Oh,
can
it's
keep
all
going.
good because
I,
no,
I, I could sit here and talk, and that's the thing too. Where sometimes it's so hard. Where it's like when I'm doing the watch alongs, I'm trying to post, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do all of that, and then
yeah,
people are like, well, why aren't you talking? It's like if I could sit here and just talk, I could talk for hours. I could just
hey,
talk.
it's all
There we go. ADHD, big time. So,
hey, it's all
so
good. With we about to talk about the Rumble. Just talk about the matches and just give our thoughts on them.
well,
The
for
first,
for me, I have a question for you. What's your favorite Royal Rumble?
my favorite Royal Rumble. Mm, one that I could remember. Ah, what is my favorite Royal Rumble? I would have to say the ones that I can't remember what year that was. I think it was the year that Stone Cold was like the first one in the Royal Rumble, and he was just whooping everybody and just throwing everybody out until it got to like Bret Hart or something like that.
I think that
And
was like
then
the
that's
early
when,
'90s. I
yeah,
I just finished watching all of. We've watched every WrestleMania and every Royal Rumble on the channel, and I finished watching all the Royal Rumbles last year. I think it was like the early '90s because I don't think he won, but I think he survived like a while, didn't he? But if
yeah,
he
yeah,
won, then it was, I forget what year because he won it 3 times.
yup, yup.
But yeah, so
And
go ahead. I just wanted to ask. I was very curious. I always like to ask that question because like I said, I've watched all of them, so I always like to. For me, I don't know why I always like 2009, but I always like the Royal Rumbles where there's like 16 people left in the ring when number 30 comes out.
yeah, yeah.
Like
And
I don't
that's how
like
it
the
used to
Brock
be back in
Lesnar
the day.
ones. Yeah.
That's how it
Or
used to be
like
back in the
Oba Femi. It scared me when Oba started eliminating everybody. I was like, oh no, here
yeah.
we go. Oba's gonna be number 16, and then Brock Lesnar's gonna come out and Brock. Here we go. So. Well, yeah,
and,
go
and
ahead.
and there's another Royal Rumble I wanted to bring up. I think it was '92. I think that's when the WWE Championship was vacant and Ric Flair won that
Yeah,
Royal Rumble.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that's one of my
yeah.
favorites too.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. I would love the older ones a little bit more. It was just so hard to figure out what numbers were what. Like we were watching it, and I was like, guys,
Yeah,
I don't even know what number we're on. I'm like, I've been trying to keep track, but they didn't start using the thing on the top right until like 2004 or three.
yeah,
It was a
yeah.
struggle.
Right.
WrestleMania or Royal Rumble 2000 might have been the worst, having to try to keep track with that, where the three guys kept running in and out and getting eliminated, and then everybody, I don't know. That one in
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden was always so difficult. Even when I rewatch it, I'm just like, I think I know number 30 and go from there. But man, it just doesn't feel the same as it used to.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
And then it was in Saudi.
So the Royal Rumble this past Saturday, they started off with the women's Royal Rumble match. Liv Morgan ended up winning the Royal Rumble on the women's side. What was your thoughts on the women's match, and what did you think about her winning?
I mean, I think it was time for Liv to win. We've obviously seen her. She went from being, and there was actually a graphic that I just saw. It was all of the spots that she's been. She's one of the only 2 or 3 women, I think, with Natty and somebody else that has been in all the women's Royal Rumbles. And
Okay.
I think, after coming in second twice, I think it was time. She's had a good career track record in Saudi. And as I'm watching these WrestleMania commercials, I still have not seen the men's one, but I swear if Roman was the last person to be shown in the commercial for the men's, they've been spoiling the Royal Rumble winners since then, because Liv Morgan is the last person to be shown in the
Yeah,
commercial for WrestleMania. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm happy for Liv. I've always loved Liv Morgan. I did an episode like a year and a half ago where I had to do where I was sick of these Liv Morgan fanboys, crybabies, everybody having mental breakdowns and freaking out and this and that. And as I said, I'm a big John Cena fan. I like almost not every John Cena figure, because there's a lot of them, but I have a lot of John Cena figures. My favorite. Where I'd love for John Cena to be champion all the time. I'd love for freaking Lola Vice to be champion right now from NXT, but I'm not going to have a mental breakdown because of it. It's going to happen, and it is going to happen. And
yeah.
that's the way you got to look at it. And now all the Liv Morgan fans are so happy now, and it's like rooting for a sports team. It's like, what, you're gonna stop rooting for Liv Morgan? No, the Bears got eliminated from the Rams. I'm gonna stop rooting for the Bears? No, because I know if the Bears can get to the Super Bowl, hopefully, maybe one day. Yeah, Patriots fan over there. But if the Bears could get to the Super Bowl, it's so much sweeter when your team finally does it. And that's kind of how I feel, where it's like now all the Liv Morgan fans have their moment and they can finally, we don't know who she's going to face. It seems like she could be facing Stephanie, or maybe Raquel gets the championship. But, Liv winning it was either Liv or Bianca Belair. And once Bianca didn't come back, I
Yeah.
felt like who was left, Liv was going to win. And that was the only thing I disliked about the Women's Royal Rumble. And Triple H just needs to stop saying it. And I say it all the time. I don't know if you're all your fans in the chat feel the same way, but it's like, stop saying it's going to be epic. It's going to be the greatest Royal Rumble of all time, and then not live up to it, because that's fine. Just don't say it. And that's why I always say, never get your expectations too high, especially as of late. When was the last time we really saw a huge return? Edge in 2020, Christian in 2021, that you were truly shocked by. That was like, oh my God, this is like, I always talk about the 2008 Royal Rumble. It was funny. I'll tell a quick story. I was like 9 years old at the time. And I don't 10 maybe, or I don't even know how old I was, but right around there, I decided to do a 5-knuckle shuffle on my hardwood floor because I was so excited that John Cena came back in number 30. And maybe that's just because it was, but I've not felt that much excitement in a Royal Rumble since then. And when Edge returned, yeah, but it just does not feel the same. And it was awesome to see Brie Bella. I will stand with the Bella twins no matter what. I don't care what anybody says. But I mean, I think we expected the people from NXT, so Ruka, Lola Vice, freaking, there was a couple surprises that not even surprises. It was just people they didn't announce, and I don't know why they didn't, like Ivy Nile or Candice LeRae, or like after we saw her on SmackDown, they were like, Candice isn't in the Rumble. I was like, they just haven't announced her. And that's the thing where it kind of became where it was like we were getting like 3 surprises. And I was hoping to see Paige or freaking Bianca or whatever, and it didn't happen. But that's why I always say don't get your hopes up. And I always like to say my fantasy and then my realistic, because I
Yeah,
would, like I said, fantasy I would have loved to seen Paige, or I said Brie Bella possibly, but it just didn't. But realistically, they were going to focus on NXT and everything else like that. And I thought the biggest showing was Lash Legend. I think her eliminating 5 people. She eliminated both
yeah,
Bella twins. She eliminated another big time star. I forgot who it was, but she really went out there and showed out and showed up. Oh, it was Io Sky who she eliminated. But
yeah,
I mean, that's the thing where the women now, it's insane to see how well there were rumors of the women having a whole night to themselves at WrestleMania, where I honestly would not mind that, because I think they could have it and they could actually put the titles on the line, like the tag titles and the
yeah,
US title and all the things that they have. And from, like I said, I felt like it was time for Liv Morgan. If Liv Morgan did not win it this year, I didn't know when the hell Liv Morgan was going to win. And with her track record in Saudi, I kind of felt like she was, but
yeah,
kind of hitting the head when Bianca didn't come back. I just hope Bianca's okay, because
yeah.
that finger injury obviously is not good at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Bianca, and like, because I thought the same thing, that she was gonna come back and she was gonna win it all. But then it's like, if you think about it story wise, like, she really had no beef with Jade, so they would probably set that up as like have her winning in the elimination chamber or something like that, or
Yeah, and that's what I
some type
said
of,
too, because if you remember, Jade came back at the Chamber last year.
yeah,
So that would be like full circle, just like with AJ Styles, and then we'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk about it. But AJ
yeah,
Styles retiring at the Rumble just made it full circle and kind of just made it where it was like he debuted and he retired there. It sucks, but maybe that's what he wanted. So
and
that's
then
kind of how I feel with
and
Bianca and everything else.
yeah, and then another thing with Bianca is like, how serious is her injury? Because they said that the bone shattered in her finger. It wasn't just like a regular break. Like, the bone shattered.
Ooh,
So it's like,
wow.
that's one of those injuries that's gonna take some time.
Yeah, and
And
it's
I'm
already been
wondering,
what, like 15 months, I think, that she's been gone, which
yeah,
I
she
think
been
is
gone for a minute.
absolutely. I think
Yeah,
is that it's kind of crazy. Like, you think about it sometimes when these people are like gone, like it's they're gone for like a while, and I feel like sometimes a lot of time passes, but in like the wrestling world, it doesn't.
yeah,
I don't know if you ever feel that way with people where it just like Cody. Like the fact that Cody was out for as long as he was, or CM Punk. The fact that CM Punk missed a whole WrestleMania, a whole this and that, and he's now had a title run. He's competed at a WrestleMania. He's main
yeah,
eventing another one. He'll be competing at the Elimination Chamber, hopefully. It just it's mind boggling, and that's the thing too. Where honestly, I would not be shocked if CM Punk's last WWE match would be at a Survivor Series, because that's where he came back, was Survivor Series. I don't know if it will be in Chicago, but if it is, I'll be there, because I try to go to all the Chicago shows. They don't like to come to Green Bay. They came to Green Bay one time for Raw, but I ended up
Mhm.
going to SmackDown, the one that AJ Lee returned, and it was John Cena's last SmackDown. So I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I'll
sweet.
I'll go to SmackDown instead, because it was one or the other. It was a little bit cheaper, but got to go to the
Yeah,
better show.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
So, so who do you think, when this all said and done, who do you think Liv is gonna challenge?
Well, it seemed like she picked Stephanie last night, but I don't know. I think she's gonna pick the champion on Raw, whoever it's gonna be. I thought Raquel Big Sexy was gonna win it on Monday at one point, but
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just the thing. Could we do a triple threat? They love themselves their multi-people match to get everybody on the card when they have six
yeah,
matches on a 5 hour show. That is my one thing I will say. I will say, because I go back and rewatch every show sometimes for the most part, because when I'm live I miss a lot, and there are some things that I like to see, and there's some eliminations and some spots that like I said, it's hard to focus on everything. The fact that that was 5 hours and we had 4 matches is kind of insane.
yeah,
So that's where I'm kind
yeah,
of just like, what happened to these 3 hour shows? It's like Triple H just like turning into Vince McMahon slowly but surely, and like forgot that he ran a great NXT for 5 years. It's like, what the fuck happened, bro?
yeah.
But I mean, that's, yeah. So I don't even think I answered your question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, because I think you said it looked like she might be defending, choosing
Oh yeah,
Stephanie.
no, I think she's gonna pick whoever's on Raw, but like
Mhm.
my prediction right now would be a triple threat with Stephanie, Raquel, and Liv, and
Yeah,
then maybe Raquel wins, and that's
even
why they
even if it ends up being a one-on-one, I still don't think the story between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez is over. I
no
I, I
no
definitely think that Rodriguez is definitely didn't forget about Liv eliminating her, and
no,
I
and
think
that's the
this.
thing. They always use the Royal Rumble to set up WrestleMania matches,
Yeah,
and I always talk about this conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's gonna happen this year because the final two were kind of wonky, but final two in the men's and women's kind of Royal Rumble, a few of them, they all main event WrestleMania, whoever they are. So I'm not too sure, but we'll see what happens. But Liv
yeah,
and Tiffany could very well be going. If Bianca is not cleared, I think we're gonna get Tiffany and Jade again. As much as people ain't gonna like that, I don't know. Or another
yeah,
multi-person match for the women, but I think that's where they're gonna go because, or maybe they have a fatal four-way for, But I think for Liv, I think she's gonna have her WrestleMania moment, and this is where she'll finally have where all of her fans have wanted.
yeah. I definitely agree with that. So the second match of the night was AJ Styles versus Gunther. AJ loses, his WWE career is over. Um, he after the match, he was getting ready to put the gloves on the mat. Then he stopped, picked them back up. So all these rumors is going around that he could possibly be leaving WWE and possibly going to like New Japan or AEW, something like that. Um, what do you think, AJ Styles? First of all, I got to say his WWE career was what he was able to do in 10 years was just phenomenal. Like he was a Grand Slam
No pun
champion.
intended, right? Literally. I mean, and
And
that's the thing where like the fact that it's been 10 years from AJ Styles, and I always talk about who remembers the short hair AJ Styles, the X Division on TNA, and the
yeah,
eight-sided ring or whatever. Like that's how long I've been watching wrestling. I used to watch SmackDown on the UPN. These kids
yeah.
don't even know what the UPN is anymore. I asked my cousin, I was like, "Do you know what this channel is?" He goes, "No." I go, "Do you know the no?" I'm just like, "Great, thanks for making me feel this certain age," and that's yeah, gotta love it, man. So,
Yeah,
but
so
I mean, with AJ and Gunther, I think this is exactly what they need to do with Gunther is just have him just start cleaning house, get rid of
yeah,
all these old people, get rid of this. I love Cena, but get rid of Cena, AJ, get rid of. I hope Randy wins, but get rid of Randy at WrestleMania, get rid of Brock at SummerSlam, get rid of freaking I don't know R-Truth. Get rid of freaking all of them. Just retire everybody. Do the career killer all day, every day. And as much as people don't like it, the fact that Gunther is doing this is exactly what John Cena wanted. Was
yeah,
Gunther to make this big of a name for himself after he tapped out. And I cried a little. It was sad watching John Cena lose. But I
yeah,
mean, again, what are we gonna do? Watch this man wrestle till he's 60 and go be like Ric Flair and can't move no more? No, I want to watch and I want to remember John Cena when he used to choke out Umaga at the Royal Rumble or freaking beat up Brock Lesnar with the steel steps at the Extreme Rules. Like that's what I want to remember John
yeah,
Cena by, and
yeah,
that's just what the biggest thing. Where with AJ, I think he said he's done in ring whatever he said to Triple H. I don't believe nothing anybody says no more. If he's going to
yeah,
show up anywhere, it's going to be tomorrow night on TNA. I've said it all week that if he's going to show up, it's going to be on TNA. He might have a little TNA run, and maybe he goes to AEW, but I don't know. I don't think that AJ's professional wrestling career is over. I think his WWE career is over, and I think the way that it happened is exactly the way, like I said earlier, it should. He debuted at Royal Rumble. He retired at the Royal Rumble, but if I don't mind, I wouldn't mind seeing him go take on some TNA superstars or, maybe do something with Robert Stone. Have freaking AJ be a part of NXT in some sort of way or something. I don't know. But I think AJ will be AJ will sign an ambassador deal if he is officially done in the ring. And all this is going to do now is help Gunther to continue on who's next on his list. It's like that meme where the Reaper's just knocking on people's doors and cutting their heads off. And that's what Gunther needs to do. And I hope we see it at SummerSlam. I hope he retires the Beast. Because after the Royal Rumble, I'm sure we'll talk about it when we get to the men's, but it looks like we're getting the ruler against the Beast at WrestleMania.
Yeah. That's what they were flirting with. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. I agree. Gunther right now is the best heel in WWE right now. You just got to keep that momentum going and let him just keep being a troll. Let him, continue like making fun of the fans after he beats a certain legend or whatever. And, give him a little break on beating the legends. Let him beat Dragon Lee for a couple of weeks or whatever they're going to do with that.
Man, I have a friend. Shout out to the Great Brown Hope, and he just dislikes Rey Mysterio so much. I swore when Dragon Lee came out, I thought Rey Mysterio was coming out. I was like, well, it's like there goes Rey Mysterio's career. And then I realized it was Dragon Lee. I was like, I can't. I'm like, I just gotta love it. But yeah, I mean, that's what Gunther needs to do, and that's what and I don't know if he's gonna. Every match he has is going to be retiring somebody, but just have him go out there and just keep dominating. And that's what, when I was a kid, I hated the Edges of the world. I hated Randy Orton of the worlds. And that's what that's what they, like, kids can cry whatever they want. Then don't let them watch wrestling. I'm sorry, but why is everybody being big babies in the world now? Like, no, like what? Like, we were watching freaking Vince McMahon with the do-rag and getting blown up and bra and panties matches and all the shit that we watched growing up. And why is everything so offensive now? And it shouldn't be like, then don't watch it. Like, if it got to a certain point, my parents were like, you're not watching this. But I ended up watching it, and that's just my biggest thing too with it, because that's just like, again, like, it is what it is, but move on, and we all move on. It's like another year. It's just like another, like, I don't know. I get it, but again, what am I gonna do? Cry because John Cena's retired now? No, I gotta get up and go to work tomorrow.
You're right. You're definitely right. So real quick, with Gunther, like I said, he's doing the whole legend killer, career killer type thing right now. As far as the championship, do you see a world championship? Of course not right now, because with Mania coming up, but after WrestleMania,
I think so, but I think he should win the title he hasn't won yet, and I think that's the one that Drew has.
That's
right? Because that's the thing where like Roman. Like, seeing Roman go after the world title, and I think Chris Van, out of all people, Chris Van Vliet was the one that said it, that Roman never earned and never has not had a title rematch since he lost to Cody at WrestleMania 40. And it's kind of nice to see Roman not go after the title that Drew's holding. It's kind of, I don't know why. Yeah, he's still going after a title, and you can say what you want, that whatever, but that's where I'm with that, where I just, it feels different, I guess. And you can say, you can get mad all you want, but again, they're not going to listen to us. They're just watch it, and if you don't like it, then don't watch it. They're not going to change. Still going to be WrestleMania in Vegas for 7 nights and 30 hours of commercials and 7 Hall of Fames and all the things. So that's just what I always like to say, because again, that's what, like, I just can't stand I hate social media. If I didn't have the podcast, I hate social media. And sometimes I think I should just get off of social media. Where it's just like everybody's complaining about everything. And it's just like, okay, like, I get it, but nothing's going to change. We're not going to change it. So why are you wasting your energy on it when we could be doing better things or being positive? Because, again, and everything seems to always work out in the end, doesn't it?
Yep, you're right. So, let's talk about the Drew and Sami Zayn match. That was for the WWE Championship. I think both of us going into this match, nobody really expected Sami to win. It was a good match
because of Saudi. I thought the one thing that was gonna help him was gonna be because he was in Saudi. I had him winning the Royal Rumble for 5 months until he said he wasn't gonna be in it. And then last week he was in a promo with everybody in the Royal Rumble, and me and Mr. Too Sweet Kyle from the Main Event Network, and we were watching it and everything, and we were like, "Is he in the Rumble now?" And it was just kind of confusing because it was like we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen multiple times where people compete and then
Yeah,
they're in the Royal Rumble match. So I
yeah.
kind of had a maybe suspicion if he did lose, maybe he would win the Royal Rumble. But yeah, I did not think that, you know. But I think now that Saudi's in WrestleMania, he's definitely going to main event next year. I'll say that.
I could see that. I could see that. Because
But
at
yeah,
first,
Drew,
at first I thought Randy Orton was going to be the one that was going to face Drew, but then I had to think about it. Saturday night's main event was in Montreal. That's Sami Zayn's hometown, and then the Royal Rumble was in Saudi. This had Sammy written all over it. So I was like, I'm like, no, I think Sammy's gonna win it, and he ended up winning it. But I never really thought that he had a chance of beating Drew, especially after Drew just won the championship a couple of weeks ago.
well, yeah, and that's the thing too. Where that's the one thing I will say is I like that they're winning championships on just the Raw or SmackDowns because back in the day, that was like a normal thing for them to win it, and it wasn't on the big shows. So it's kind of leaves the suspicious or the suspense and all of that, where it's like you don't know what's gonna happen on a Raw or SmackDown, and you gotta kind of tune in. Where, like I said, I thought maybe Raquel would win on Monday, and if she did, we'd be seeing a Judgment Day breakup, and that's the other thing. What's Miss Roxanne Perez gonna do at Royal or at WrestleMania? Is she gonna be a part of anything? So it
Yeah,
could be a fatal 4-way. It could be something else. I'm just going back to that live real quick. But I mean, Drew and Sammy, I think that it was a good match still. I think they went out there and did what they had to do. And
oh yeah,
we also saw Drew later on in the show. And that's the thing, too, where I kind of feel like with Drew winning, we're going to see Drew, Cody, and Jacob maybe in a triple threat. Because I
yeah,
don't think it's going to
yeah,
be just a singles match. We've seen that too many times. We don't need to see that again. And I kind of don't want to see that at WrestleMania. And that's the thing too, where it's like some of the WrestleMania matches we've seen on a Raw or SmackDown or a B level pay per view that it just does not feel like the Undertakers versus Batistas or Edge and Undertakers or Cena's and Michaels and those types of levels that I just hate the fact that they just try so hard to get everybody on the show, and it sucks that everybody's so talented and they have so many great superstars now, but sometimes you're just not on the show, and it sucks. But everybody has their moment at some point, and I
yeah.
just hope that they figure out a way to make this work because I don't even know who would win that match if it would be because is Cody going to be giving it again? Are they going to give Jacob that? Because that's what I would want. I would want Jacob to win the title and have his WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then I think what's going to be interesting about that is how they set it up. Who's going to win? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to win the Elimination Chamber? How is the other person going to be added to make it a triple threat? This is an interesting story because like it even the story even went into the men's Royal Rumble match, which we're about to talk about now. Roman Reigns ended up winning, but before the Rumble could even get started, Obafemi was number one, the number one entry. Braun Breaker was number two. So as Braun Breaker was coming into the ring, he got attacked by a masked man, and there's a lot of swirlings going around. A lot of people are saying that it was Seth. A lot of people saying that it wasn't because he said that he wasn't going to be there. I got an idea of who I think it is. Who do you think it is?
I got no idea who the hell it is. It could be 6 different people, but I mean, it could be Seth. It could be Austin Theory working from within. It could be. I mean, I've heard Jake Paul. I've heard Logan Paul. I've heard freaking everybody. I will say, I think the one thing is whoever that person was on Saturday. I don't think it's going to be the person that was, and that will be revealed as the person that actually was. Because like before Austin Theory was revealed, we saw Montez Ford come out, and I think it was like the steel
Yeah.
cage that he came out and did the Serb cut. So that's just my thing. But for me, the only thing I didn't like is like I said earlier, I love the Royal Rumbles where there's a lot of people in the ring. I hate the fact that we wasted a spot on Braun Breaker for 10 seconds, or like the fact that they had Rusev in the Royal Rumble match. And that's always my gripe about it is why have all and say it's going to be all these big surprises, and at the end of the day, the big surprises for the men were who? I mean, they're really
Yeah.
we had Mr. Iguana, we had La Parca, we had freaking whatever, but it wasn't anybody big names that we were gonna be like, oh my god, this is insane and
Yeah.
this is crazy. And that's just my thing with it, where it was just like once Braun, like I kind of had hope for Braun Breaker when they first did it, because it was like, okay, maybe we'll see the men's rumble start off, whatever, and it was okay, this masked man take him out. Now we need to sit here and wait, and it's like, okay, that's cool, I guess, but now we have to sit here and wait, and I hate waiting. I'm impatient. Like, yes, I long term storytelling. I love the story being told, but it's also, why couldn't we have just done this again? Maybe that had something to do with them spoiling it in on SmackDown when they had Axiom and Fraxium come out and they said Braun Breaker entrant #1. So maybe that had something to do with it. But
Yeah.
still, well then maybe work on your video board guy. I forget what they call that. I did that in school. That might have been my favorite thing to do, is work on that board. Tell that guy that's working on the board to not mess up. I don't know, but I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it is, and I think Braun Breaker is going to have some type of singles match at Mania. I don't know
Yeah.
against who, but obviously it's going to be against this masked man. Or instead, you know how we saw two El Grandes on on Saturday. Maybe we'll see three
Yeah.
masked man take on the Vision in the 6-man. There we go, 6-man tag team match, guys. 3 masked man taking on the Vision. Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory, and then Braun Breaker will be on at ringside. Paul Heyman. I mean, but that's the thing, is I truly, it's, if I'm gonna have to pick anybody, I like, that's the thing, is I don't even know who it could be.
Yeah.
That's where I'm just like, I'm just waiting to see how it plays out. But I guess the easy answers would be Seth Rollins, or if it is Austin Theory working from within. But I don't know if that would be the case. I truly don't know. And I
I,
love playing the guessing game. It's one of those where I'm like stuck. Shit, there was people that said Jake Paul. It's like, okay, well, what the hell is Jake Paul doing then?
right.
Like,
Right.
I don't know what that guy's gonna do. Though. Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know about the Masked Man. I think it's just stupid though that they keep using the same thing. It's like we're gonna need a Masked Man action figure at some point too.
Right. They're gonna have to do a collector series and have the
Yeah.
Max Man.
I mean, shit, he wasn't like, you remember back in the day, like the old SmackDown versus Raw games. He was in like the Road to WrestleMania. You unlocked him as an unlockable character. You were able to play as him.
Yeah.
It's so funny, but that's where they've come. And I mean, shit,
Yeah.
I truly don't know. But like, I was just that kind of, for me with the men's rumble, just kind of left one of those, because as I said, as soon as that happened, it's like, okay, now Oba's gonna start throwing everybody out, and that's what happened for a while. And then finally, I forgot who came in the ring, but then they kind of allowed people to come in and fill up the ring a little bit. But for the men's, also, I had 2 people. It was Braun Breaker or Roman Reigns. Just
Yeah.
like with the women, it was EST or Liv. And once Braun got eliminated, it was like, okay, Roman's gonna win this. And it is what it is, but I don't know why. I'm excited to see this Punk and Roman match. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because Roman hasn't been there or whatever, hasn't had a title match, but it's not bothering me as much as it is other people that Roman Reigns is a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. And again, that's the other reason why they give it to him, because now he can say he's in the category with the Randys, the Cenas, the Austins, the Hogans, this and that. And it's all about the numbers.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would I would say the Masked Man. I got 2 people. I definitely think that Seth is definitely that he could possibly be the Masked Man, but like you said, like it could have been somebody else at the Royal Rumble, but it could end up being Seth Rollins. But I also think it's Logan Paul. And the reason why I think it's possibly Logan Paul, because I think it was the Raw before the Royal Rumble, and when they were backstage, and he was saying that he wanted to win the Royal Rumble or help Braun Breaker win the Royal Rumble, which I think was some BS being, you know, the character that Logan Paul is. And then if you look on Monday Night Raw, when Braun Breaker was spazzing out and the Vision was in the ring, and I think Adam Pearce was on the mic, and he was saying something about the masked man possibly being Austin Theory. But if you look in the background, and if you look at Logan Paul's eyes, it was just kind of like the way he was looking, it was just like, oh snap, they talking about this masked man or whatever. It was just like, I hope that, you know.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it's Adam Pearce.
It could be that too. You know what I'm saying?
That would be some funny ass shit. I mean, but again, with what they did with Ludwig Kaiser and El Grande Americano, don't be fucking shocked if we see a masked man stable or some bullshit that they're gonna put there, whatever the fuck.
And I'm interested to see what they do with that too, because it was like when Gable was out with his injury, that's when the current of the new El Grande Americano came in.
It's gonna be mask versus mask at WrestleMania, and they should have an unmasking, and one of these two get unmasked. Yeah, and maybe it should be Chad Gable, because Ludwig has actually done a good job. And you can say what you want. That's the one thing I always think about it when I'm watching the El Grande Americano matches now. As much as I make fun, I'm just like, well, El Grande Americano's out, guys. It's like I always think about it. It's Kaiser wrestling. He's just out there doing it under a mask, and it is what it is. But he's still getting the singles pushing away. He's going out there, and like they had El Grande against Gunther at a live event like 3 weeks ago. It's like Kaiser and Gunther are literally facing each other, you know, and it's just kind of one of those things that I hate the fact that Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are under a mask. But again, it is what it is, and that's the one thing I've learned with. Just over the years is, again, these guys, a lot of like with the Randy Orton and Jelly Roll thing, like that was Randy Orton's idea to be a part of the Jelly Roll match. So it's like these people want to do it. So if they want to do it, or if they want to change their name, then let them do it. It is what it is. I mean, it sucks. It's not what we want, but it's not all about us or what we specifically want. It's about what they think is good. And again, what is everybody going to want to see? Roman Reigns and CM Punk? Or are they going to want to see, again, I love them, but are they going to want to see Javon Evans against CM Punk at WrestleMania? I think Javon Evans is going to be a big star, but just like one of those names, hypothetically.
It ain't his time yet.
It's just one of those things that they're looking at the name value. They're looking who's going to sell tickets. Who can we put out on the marquee and be like, it's Roman Reigns against the best in the world. It's the OTC taking on the Second City Saint. And then you got Liv Morgan taking on whoever the hell it may be. And then, and that's what they're looking for. And that's what they're trying to sell tickets for. And if you live in Vegas, lucky you, because you probably get to go to WrestleMania 2 years in a row. But for people that like us that got no money, that can't in the Midwest, that's just the one thing I hate about it for that, is that it just, now that it's 2 nights especially, it's like an arm and a leg. You got to take out a loan on a house to go to WrestleMania now. Or like if I went back at WrestleMania 22 and it was in Chicago, I'm sure if I looked up ticket prices, I'm sure they're probably like $300-$400 at the Allstate Arena. Now you can't the Elimination Chamber tickets my uncle got for me and my cousin were just outrageous. It's just like, it's insane.
Yeah.
That it just, but it's just one of those things that it sucks. That's what it's become. I just would hope that they would actually put on the show and understand that people are spending their money, and let's get the value of their money, but they don't care.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So
one of the big things that happened on Raw yesterday.
Was that yesterday? 2 days ago?
No, 2 days ago. Why I say yesterday? 2 days ago, Roman came out and he was interrupted by Punk. They had this big back and forth in the promo, and I think that's what got me kind of excited about this match, because Roman went in on CM Punk in that promo.
And that's what you need to do. Like, that's the stuff that makes it feel real. Like back in, when freaking whoever, I can't even remember, but just the perfect one for me has always been when Triple H and Randy Orton were doing it at WrestleMania 25, when Triple H went through Randy's house, he threw him through the window, or when John Cena threw Edge into the Lake Catherine or whatever lake that was. I don't know what lake it was, but I mean, that's the stuff that obviously not going to throw each other in lakes, but make these promos feel real. And that's what I was saying. I was like, oh my God, it finally felt like they're building something to have this match feel like a WrestleMania match. And it might not be the way in the match that we thought were going to happen, but sometimes those are the best matches. Just like sometimes the best matchups in any sport, or sometimes the teams that nobody expect. I always think about the World Series a couple of years ago, where it was like the Rangers and Diamondbacks. Like nobody expected that, but and yes, they've kind of been teasing the Roman and CM Punk, but now that we're officially getting it, it's like, okay, let's see where this goes. And I don't know who's gonna win, but it's kind of like CM Punk could win, Roman could win, Roman wins. I mean, he disappears. CM Punk, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we don't have a Money in the Bank too. I feel like this might be the first time in a while we haven't had a Money in the Bank like in WrestleMania.
Nope.
Like, you know what I mean? Where like
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
the briefcase past and during WrestleMania for a while now, and
Yep.
for the first time, both of them both cashed in early. So interesting
yeah.
to see where that goes too.
Yeah. And real quick, Obafemi, like I mentioned him.
Man,
I
don't know about you, but are you a big NXT guy?
Oh yeah.
And like that's,
watch
I
it.
always talk to people, like watching these people rise and watching, like I still remember watching Tiffany Stratton's first Daddy's Little Girl intro, or Lyra's first video package, or Oba when he first came in the rising star. Like people don't realize that accent's fake. Like he don't speak like that. He speaks like a normal, like I forget where he's, but that's the thing. Like I love watching these people rises. So when we see like the Javon Evans, the Trick Williams, when we saw Trick, Javon, and Oba in the Royal Rumble, the three just standing there, it was like I was watching Takeover. It was like, hey, but they're on the main roster, and it's so cool to see these people, and that's where it always gets for me. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch after John Cena retires. Well, now I want to see what Javon Evans does. Now I want to see what Oba and Trick does, and that's where it's like I'm probably never gonna stop watching. So I wanted to ask that, because there's a lot of people that don't watch NXT, and there's a lot of people that don't know who these superstars are, or until they get to the main roster, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But then don't make comments when, like, I'm upset because Oba's in the tag division when he was just the NXT champion, just hypothetically, whatever it is. Like, just like Ciampa, like the fact Ciampa left at WWE and never got a world title kind of sucks. But, he went to AEW, got it. But, it's one of those things that I've loved watching it since the I can't speak. Since they started, I watched NXT when it was the game show. So,
yeah, me too.
Remember AJ Lee and Naomi's debuts at this point.
Yeah. That's when
and that's the other thing, like the surprises, just before I forget. AJ Lee was somebody we did not see. Like I definitely thought she was gonna be in it, but and that's the thing. I wanted it. What am I gonna do? Freak out because she wasn't? Like I didn't get my expectations too high, because it is what it is. But that's just one of those things too with that. As I said, AJ Lee, I wanted to remind you that
I just wanted to say real quick with Obafemi, like whatever they have planned for him, they have to do this smart. I feel like you got to give him. I feel like he's kind of like Goldberg, but better. I think he's better. I bet he's better in the ring, and he's better on the mic. You got to give this dude at least a year, maybe even a year and a half, where he's undefeated. I wouldn't even put him in the ring against Brock yet, because it's like we'll need that right now. Just like what he did Monday against the War Raiders. Let him do that. Let him put him in matches where he just beating people up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe give him a little run with the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title or something. Let him break one of them records, become the longest reigning holder or something like that. But you got to
be close to Gunther's record is what he should do. He should honestly take the title off of Mello, or have Trick take the title off of Mello, and then have Oba beat Trick for it, and have Oba have a title run like Gunther did with the IC title. Because that's the way you're going to get these people over, and that's the way, and for some reason, I don't know why people got to have championships to be finally over, but that's the only way. Like Mello, finally people realize who the fuck Carmelo Hayes is, when Carmelo Hayes has been doing this since 2021 or 2020 or whatever the hell that. And that's the thing where it's just like nobody knows who these people are. They're like, he's the guy with the Miz. No, Carmelo is a former NXT champion, North American champion. He's this, that, and all of the other things that,
Yeah,
and it's just like, I hate having to explain that to people. And I know there's a lot of wrestling. I know not everybody can watch all the wrestling. But don't sit there and come in and say Carmelo sucks if you don't know what Carmelo Hayes is. Or
yeah,
Trick Williams. Now, everybody knows the whoop that trick. What the hell were you on
uh,
Saturday nights when we were watching takeovers? I didn't see you.
man, yeah.
So I just that's why I get with that, because it just,
I
but yeah, Oba needs something to keep him strong. And you're absolutely right. As I've been saying that, but that would be the worst thing to do, is have him go up against Brock at Mania and get squashed.
yeah,
So maybe that might not be the best idea.
yeah. Because you mentioned Trick Williams. I kind of feel the same thing with Trick. You got somebody that could be your number
Superstar.
one heel in the next couple of years.
Bro, he could be the
Depending.
biggest star in the world. Like, this man
Yeah,
literally has the charisma and the everything to be that guy that everybody either wants to hate or love.
yeah,
Because he's just got that it for some reason. Like, when he made his debut on SmackDown, came out whenever, I forget, was it Randy that was in the ring? I think it was just like, oh my, like he was just there all day.
yeah. He to me is a mixture of a young Rock when the Rock was like in the nation going into like the corporation when he won the title with the corporation, and he kind of reminded me of Booker T also.
Yeah,
So he kind of
man.
got a mixture of those two.
It's not the same with Booker not on commentary either for Trick Williams entrance, man. I don't know about
No,
you. Oh yeah, man.
yeah,
Let's go, man. Yeah. Oh yeah. All of it. It's so great.
Hey,
I hope
but
they have that in 2K. Booker T's now in 2K gaming talk for a quick second. Booker T in commentator now, finally, for 2K. I want
oh,
that
he's
in the
gonna be the
entrance.
commentator.
I guess so, yeah, apparently. They were showing screenshots, and supposedly, I don't know if it's true, they're saying you could choose your commentary team. I don't know if that's true, but we'll see if that's true. But I would love that's, yeah. I mean, they have
Yeah,
so many stars right now. Like, that's the one thing about WWE right now, is the amount of talent that they have is insane. Like, the fact that, again, Javon Evans is 22 years old. This man or 21, 22,
yeah,
just started to be able to drink. Like,
yeah,
he hasn't even done anything yet, and he's done a lot already. And the fact that he didn't even need the NXT title, he didn't need the North American title, he didn't need any titles in NXT, and he's still gonna be a big star. Like, he might be the one guy from NXT that may have a better main roster run than an NXT run, for the simple fact of career accomplishments. Because he didn't win any titles, he didn't win anything, but I think on the main roster, I think he'll win US. I see he could be the next freaking Kofi Kingston type of guy to go out there and just win all these titles and win this and have his moments. And I don't know. That's the one thing about the WWE, and I love it. And that's why I love NXT so much, because yes, NXT is kind of in a downward where they did lose Oba, Javon, Trick. Joe Hendry is the champion right now, but they did lose Jordan Grace, everything else like that. Because there were rumors that Joe Hendry was going to go to the main roster too. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing where NXT is kind of in a bind right now. But it's just like a sports team. They called up all their prospects to their main roster, to the majors. Their farm system is depleted, and now they got to figure out how to rebuild that farm system. And for me, I love that stuff. I love like playing Madden and do it. Like, I play with the Bears, and I try to do the best I can. Or my friend has challenged me to pick like the Browns and try to build a super team. And I love doing that stuff. I've always been that type. Or like my GM mode. I can sit here and play my GM mode for hours because I just love trades and signing and this and that. So I'm all for it, and I'm excited to see what the future holds with all of these people. And it's in good hands. It's just more or less who's running it and which dum-dums making the decisions. Because obviously there's somebody else doing something in NXT, and I was thinking about it more lately. There's got to be somebody else in NXT that's doing something, because why is NXT still good without Triple H? And why didn't Triple H bring all the stuff that he was doing in NXT to the main roster? It's like he just turned into Vince McMahon with certain things. It's like, I don't understand. And I said it too on yesterday. I forgot what I was doing. But when was the last time we saw a match like that with Obafemi? And usually we see like Joe Schmo and this guy from the Independents or Jobbers. but then
Right,
use the
right.
Viking Raiders. Like
Yeah,
that's how it should be, because the Viking Raiders get their ass kicked. But the fact that Obafemi can lift up Ivar and Eric is like, oh my god, like what the
yeah,
fuck? Like, did you see that meme where they said he looked like he had a bunch of munchkins on his neck, around his neck? I couldn't stop dying. I was like, I can't. I'm like, don't ruin Obafemi for me now. Come on now.
right, right.
You know.
So we talked about we was just talking about NXT. Joe Hendry's the new NXT champion.
Say his name and he appears. Man, I just every time I get into it, I don't care what anybody says.
What do you think about him being the champion, and you think he's gonna have a long title run?
I don't think he's gonna have a long title reign. I think he was the safe choice. He was the person that they knew they could give it to, and that he'll have it till Stand and Deliver, and then they'll probably give it to somebody else. I personally would have liked to see somebody like I can't even remember everybody that was in the match yesterday already, but I did not want to see Jackson Drake. I didn't think he was going to win. Shiloh Hill had a good spot there with the stelts and all of that. It looked like Kofi Kingston. You remember that Royal Rumble, or it was WrestleMania 24 actually. It was he was in doing all of that. So, it's one of those things that I'm happy for Joe, but again, it is the developmental brand and the fact that he's a little bit older again, but it is what it is. I mean, he's going to go out there. They're now going to make a figure with him with the title. They're going to make a shirt, I'm sure, say his name. He's the champion, whatever. And I'm sure he's going to lose it to, I don't know who. I thought Carver was going to win actually at one point yesterday. I mean, it's just that he looks like he could be the next Obafemi type, and that's what they need. They need somebody out there that's just going to destroy people. And he was ready to just destroy everybody. But I mean, between Ricky Saints, Joe Hendry, and was Miles Bourne in that match yesterday, or did he not make it in there? I don't know.
I don't even remember.
My days go by colors sometimes. I'm like, okay, it's Monday, we got Raw on today, it's red. Like, I can't keep track anymore. So, but that's the thing where I figured Joe was gonna win. I didn't know how, but my question now is just who does he face at WrestleMania weekend at Stand and Deliver, because he's most likely going to keep it there. And is there anybody that's going to be able to like step up to beat him? Unless, but I've heard rumors that he's showing up on SmackDown on Friday. Unless they bring like Royce Keys, that was my prediction. I thought Royce Keys was just going to come out like Brock Lesnar and enter himself in the match and take the title and run away. That's what I thought was going to happen. But Royce Keys is somebody that possibly, formerly known as Powerhouse Hobbs. But, I mean, that's the thing, too, where I think that until we find somebody that is established, I think that there's just nobody on NXT right now that you can really trust to put in that. What are we going to do? Give the title to Josh Briggs or freaking, and again, nothing against Josh Briggs. I think NXT's great. They go out there, they learn, they're doing it. And like I said, I love watching them from the beginning, So Ruka might have the best finisher in the NXT and professional wrestling right now. Like the fact that she came out as a surfer and now she's getting over and she's one of the top stars and people want her to be on the main roster. Or Lola Vice. Yes, Lola Vice is great to look at, but she still goes out there and does what she can do in the ring. And it's impressive that, it's cool to see all these superstars, not just the men's division, but I mean, I feel like the women's division is better than the men's division half the time now. And they were even talking about it on the Bella or the Logan Paul's podcast with the Bella twins. The Bella's good. The Bellas go, Logan, the women's division is a little bit better. He goes, I ain't arguing. He goes, I know. And they're like, you're great, But it's just one of those things that they have so much talent that if they can just use it correctly, they could. It's like a pipeline. If they use it correctly, they can just keep having talent, like the Dodgers, keep winning World Series, winning 100 games, ta-da. And that's as easy as it would be to do. So I think Joe Hendry was a good choice. I'm happy for him, but I'm just interested to see who steps up to him. Now, Tony D'Angelo, please, no. Like, I love Tony D, whatever, but I can't. Like, no.
Yeah.
And that's where let's bring Shawn Michaels out of retirement.
Right. Real quick, the last question about NXT. Outside of Joe Hendry, Ricky Saints, All Ego, Ethan Page.
Yeah, see, he's another one too. That's right. All the former AEW stars.
Yeah. Isn't the men's division in NXT kind of green right now?
Oh, it's so great. I mean, the
Yeah.
fact that we got the Jackson Drakes, the Shawn Legacies, the Shiloh Hills, the Josh Briggs,
Keanu,
and again, there's nothing wrong with all of them. And I will say, I love the fact, and I love reality TV. I'm a reality TV junkie. I go watch reality TV all day. The fact that we're seeing these guys from LFG be on NXT so soon is kind of cool. Or even like
yeah.
the one dude, he's been a security guard, but just knowing he's still at the business, like you don't know what's gonna happen, and that's the thing with with the men's division, especially with them depleting it pretty much completely. Let's be real, they got rid of their three best stars. It's like the Yankees trading their outfield for a freaking whatever, a bunch of baseballs. But I mean, that's what it's gonna need for them to rebuild themselves. And NXT kind of in a rebuilding stage. Ava left, sadly. She didn't accept her contract or whatever. New GM, we don't know who that's going to be. Shit, we saw Carmella was teasing that she could be the new GM, maybe come and help Robert Stone with that, because I don't know if Robert Stone's going to be the full-time GM. He said interim. Keyword interim yesterday, guys. I did hear that or when he first said it, because if he was the official GM, he would have said like So I'm interested to see where that goes and everything else like that. But I don't know who's going to step up in the men's division. But that's the one thing. It's up for grabs. Somebody go and take the ball. Jasper Troy, he's the speed title champion right now, but he's somebody else. Or this new guy, the mask guy, what is his name? LaFleur. I think of Matt LaFleur from the Packers and then say LaFleur because I don't know how to say his first name. And I'm so bad at pronouncing wrestlers or sports players' names that I try my best, but I don't want like the new guy the White Sox got. I don't know how the hell to say this guy, but I got to figure it out or do my best because I have a White Sox podcast I do during the summer that I got to try to say these people's names, but man, I don't freaking know. That's why like even the people from AAA or the one dude from Saudi. I don't know if you saw the one dude from Saudi that they signed this past weekend. I was like, he's definitely going to be in the Royal Rumble. I don't know what entrant, and he wasn't. I was surprised, but I was like, this guy's going to come out and just try to get the biggest pop in the world. So, I don't know, but Powerhouse Hobbs is, I mean, think about it. We could have a men's division of Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Sean Spears, and I mean, like, that's the thing, too. Like, even Sean Spears, like, he really hasn't done too much in NXT. So maybe this could give him the opportunity to finally have his moment and get not he doesn't have to get rid of the Colleen. We see Izzy Dame doing her own thing. Keep Nico Vance on the side, but let's see Sean Spears go out there and do something. And that's the thing where, and I've talked about it a lot with the people I do podcasts with. Why can't people be not even sent down, but why can't they go back to NXT? We've seen it happen before where we've seen great rivalries where Finn Balor went back there like 4 years ago and had a good run and stuff like that. The New Day, Dolph Ziggler. Why can't we see that? That wouldn't be such a bad thing to especially give people opportunities and more time on TV that they don't have. Even though we have 6 hours, 5.5 hours of TV time, they don't have enough time for TV.
Yep.
So
I will say this before we get up out of here. Is one rivalry or one story in NXT that's been brewing for I want to say a couple of months now that
which one's that?
I'm really, really looking forward to, and I hope that these two have a match at Stand and Deliver, and that's Zarya and Sol Ruka. That story has been brewing for the last couple of months now, and I think what we saw in NXT yesterday when Sol Ruka hit her with the Soul Snatcher, and then them being in that tag match, and the winner becomes the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. I think that we're going to start to see the beginning of the end of Zaruka.
Yeah, I think that's bound to happen. And that's the thing, too, where I think they're both going to be very, like, over people. I think they're both going to have very good careers. Mm-hmm. But with Sol Ruka, the fact that she can do things that she does and how athletic she is and everything, the fact she was the final 3 in the Royal Rumble, they don't just do that just to do that.
Yeah.
How many people from NXT have we seen go out there in the years past since they brought them in? I think it's going to be – I think what's going to happen is they're going to turn. something's gonna happen, and it's gonna be some Las Vegas street fight at Stand and Deliver or something like that. And then maybe, just maybe, that's Soul's last match in NXT, and then she debuts on the Raw after WrestleMania or SmackDown after
Or
Mania,
SmackDown.
because they love to do their SmackDown after WrestleMania or WrestleMania SmackDown. Their favorite.
Yeah.
So I think it's only a matter of time, and I think this is the thing where, like, even like with NXT too, like the women's division is so deep, I feel like they can't afford to. Like Lola Vice should be called up soon. JC Jane very well could be soon. There's a lot of people that we could have a women's division of Kendall Gray, Ren Sinclair, Carmen Petrovic, Nikita Lyons, Kalani Jordan, all of the, and I still think that's still a good division that they have. Tatum Paxley, like there's just so many, I can go on and on, that it never seems to end. And now these, like the fact that Bree said it on the podcast with Logan Paul, the only reason why Bree came back was because all the opportunities the women have. And it's insane. And I love it because for somebody that's been watching the AJ Lee since then, like I said, I've been watching NXT since the game show days, AJ Lee, Naomi, and watching them be able to do and all the things that they've been able to do is just, it's awesome to see. And that's the one thing for WrestleMania. We're going to see Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. I don't know how it's going to happen, but
Yeah.
I feel like we could see AJ Lee possibly cost Becky Lynch at the Elimination Chamber, because I feel like if they have a women's Elimination Chamber, Becky's just going to end herself because Becky thinks that she's all that. So let's pull a Shawn Michaels and let's have her come up from the cage like she did, or like he did, and then he took out Undertaker. Let's have her take out Becky. So
Right.
I don't know. Just a lot of, like I said, it's insane the talent that the WWE has in general, and just professional wrestling in general. Like TNA and AEW, even though I don't watch it a lot as much as I used to, but it's just become, there's so much wrestling that I kind of like TNA a little bit more, just because they have like the Hardy Boys, they have BDE, they have Nick Nemeth, they have Santino Marella, they have all these people that, yeah, most ex-WWE guys, but it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I always try to, I watch a lot of shit, man. I don't have enough time in the day, and sometimes I feel like this is all I do, and I'm just like, I need to be productive. I need to do things. And I'm just like, well, here we are.
Hey, it be like that sometimes.
It too. That's what I say. It be like that. It do be like that.
Right. So, looking ahead, what goals do you have for Tino's Time podcast in 2026, and where can the people follow you?
Well, my first goal is that we are, after Saturday, because of the great live stream we had, we are now only less than 100 subscribers. I think we're now almost at less than 80 subscribers to 4,000. And when we hit 4,000 subscribers, if any of your fans want to come, they get a chance to win a signed John Cena poster that we will be giving away. I love to do giveaways every time we hit a milestone, and let the people know that I do appreciate them supporting me and everything else like that. So that's my first goal, and I always like to say it. I'm one of those where, yes, I hit a goal, it's amazing, it feels great, but on to the next. So once I hit 4, on to 5, 6. Like, I just want to keep going, and it's just one of those things that I just have that motivation that I just don't want to stop. Yes, like I said, there are going to be shows I'm going to miss, or I'm not going to be live for the Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry, I'm going to be there live. But if I wasn't there live, we'd be sitting right in my chair watching it live. And that's the thing. Like, I literally we'll be done here in 5 minutes. I'm taking a 30-minute break, and I'm going to be live till midnight playing 2K, because this is what I do. So it's just one of those things that I always tell people, just keep on going, don't give up. And yes, you might have some videos that aren't the best, but you just got to figure it out, and you're going to find your thing that works for you. And for me, the watch alongs have been the things that have worked for me. And now everybody does it, but I know when I first started doing it, I know that there was not a lot of people doing them. So I don't know what it was and whatever. It might have just been the time when I started doing it, but I remember looking, and that was the thing why I thought it would be so interesting to do, because I didn't see a lot of people doing it. And I was like, let's try it, because I'm doing it anyway. I sit here every Monday. I watch Raw. I watch Monday Night Football. I was like, let's do it. Like Sunday, we'll be live for the Super Bowl. We'll be I'm live all the dang time. So find me at Tino's Time everywhere. Tino's Time Wrestling on Instagram. And like I said, people always say, if you want to find me, I'm usually on YouTube doing something. So anybody wants to come and hang out, I'll be live till midnight over there on the channel playing some 2K. Get ready for the new one to come out.
That's what's up. Yeah, what's your thought? Yeah, what are your thoughts on the new WWE 2K26 game?
Well,
Just
I might need your assistance because do you play a lot of like Call of Duties or NBA 2Ks or anything else like that? Because I have, but I've never had these battle passes. So that's the one thing I'm kind of interested in where I don't mind if that's what it is, but for the fact that it's $165 after tax because you have to now purchase it on the store because they don't give away the
yeah,
physical copies anymore. If you remember back in the day, you'd go out to the midnight release, you go and
yeah,
get the game
yeah,
at 11 or 12 o'clock, you go home, you put it in the system. You didn't have
yeah,
to wait for it to download for 6 hours. You could just put it in and play the game. That's what I
yeah,
remember doing. And
yeah,
that's my thing is I'm just worried that this battle pass is going to be where we have to get all this stuff. And it's like, I don't mind playing the game, but I'm not sitting there for 13 hours trying to unlock Undertaker from 1998. Like, let me
right,
just play a couple matches and
yeah,
get enough XP to unlock the things. But I'm
yeah,
always excited for it. I always love the games. It is what it is. But just like I said with the wrestling, what am I going to do? Get upset about the video games? I'm still going to buy it. We're going to do content on it. And it might not be the best game ever, but hopefully the things they add, they are better. And, I'm a big video game player. I've been playing since GameCube games with WWE Crush or just bring it. Here comes the pain. So
yeah,
I love video games, and it's one of those things. I just hope that the game is good. But I mean, the price is outrageous, and then the fact that now they're adding stuff, it's all just becoming digital currency. That
yeah,
all they want us to do is buy stuff. But again, I bought the game; it's pre-order already, so I'll be here playing it on launch day, and we'll see how it is. But again,
yeah,
I play a lot of sports games too, so
yeah.
I'm
Me too. Me
I'm
too.
one of those where like if baseball's on, I play baseball or Madden. Right now, I'm playing Madden, and then once the Super Bowl's over, I'm kind of like and then
Yeah.
kind of goes in a routine. But that's where I'm at with that. I just hate the fact that they're just so expensive, and it's like even back in the day when they would do it. Like I have 2K14 here. I didn't get the extent or the like exclusive edition, but when they did, they gave away like a Hulk Hogan Funko Pop. That it's like why don't they do that anymore? That would give you the incentive to pay the extra money. Or one
Yeah,
year they did like the SmackDown edition, and it just sucks that everything is so expensive now that and the fact that they charged me $15 of taxes because I bought it on the Xbox store. So, like thanks, but that's just like why. And
yeah,
you can't buy that version physically. So I have to spend the $15 no matter what. And for me, because I do
yeah,
the content, I just buy the biggest version because I buy 3 video games a year: Madden, Call of Duty, or Madden, WWE, and MLB, and that's it. And then so just like
yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for it though. Hopefully, all the good stuff, all the stuff that they've added is good. But the fact it's a yearly release, it's just not what it once was with like SmackDown versus Raws or the Road to WrestleManias. Or I remember one time we had a back room in our house. We had like one of those giant box TVs, and I would
hmm,
hook up my PlayStation, and my dad would have friends over, so I would sit in front of the TV on the big screen and just have it up and play it. And then my dad's friends would come over by the couch and sit down and watch me playing it because they were just so interested and intrigued in this
yeah,
PlayStation 2 video game. But it's not,
yeah.
something that
It's
it's all
yeah,
about the money, man. It shouldn't be just like ticket prices and everything. Like it's outrageous. The fact that it shouldn't be this expensive to be a fan of something. It really shouldn't be.
you right about that. Definitely
That's
right.
that's where I'm at with all of it because it's too. I
Yeah.
always talk about it. I want to keep my lights on before. Like, if we don't have lights, we can't watch the show. So
That is true.
yeah,
Hey,
that's how.
that's true.
Huh? Oh yeah, I mean, well, no generators. I lived off of a generator for like 6 months at one time, or it was like bad, so much fun. So yeah, that's how I feel about the video game. Are you a big sports gamer and everything?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game coming out. I know that I've heard that they adding the draft to universe mode, so I'm interested to see how that's gonna work out. And yeah, I'm definitely a big sports fan. I could sit for hours and play franchise mode
Yeah,
and
see, that's where I'm at too, where I just play the franchise mode, and that's my thing with like the hope. Whereas if we could just play matches, or like if I play all the showcase, and I get like 30,000 RXP or whatever the hell they're calling it, like then that's great. Then let me use that 30k XP to unlock stuff. Or like Call of Duty, you know, like how like Call of Duty, if you get to a certain level, you do like that's how I hope it is. But
Yeah.
I'm holding my breath until it actually comes out and I sit here and play it and we see how it is, because it is what it is. But then in a year we'll be doing the same thing again, and that's kind of why I wish they would take like every other year. But I get it because it's about the money, and you know, again, all about the money with everything now.
Right.
So gotta love it.
Tino, I appreciate you coming through, coming on the show, talking wrestling and everything. You said once again, was it anything that you wanted to plug?
Well, yeah. Well, you can find me at Tino's Time on YouTube and stuff. I am also a part of the Main Event Network. We're on the road to 300 over there. So shout out to all the people over there. Big time helpful. Mr. Too Sweet Kyle and all of them. Big help. And that's the thing too, where I've met so many different people where I've been very afraid. I don't really trust people. So the fact that I've met some people in the community that I can't really trust, it's nice. So yeah, so you can find me on Tino's Time. Like I said, I'll literally be live in 28 minutes playing 2K for 3 hours, I think. So over there. But yeah, so I appreciate you coming and hanging out. And if you ever want to come and hang out on the channel, like I say, you know where to find me. And I'm live all the time. So 10 minutes, an hour, whatever it may be. And you know, yeah, I just appreciate you having me on, and I love sitting here just chatting wrestling, and I guess I could do this for hours.
No problem, no problem.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. So real quick before I get out of here, anybody that has been watching, I want to thank you. This has been the 75th episode. Thank you. I'm just grateful that I've been able to do this for so long. It's going on 3 years since I started this podcast. Was doing recorded episodes and then started doing live streams, and it's just been one hell of a ride. YouTube channel is over 8,000 subscribers. We got over 4.4 million views. So I'm just thankful for everything that has happened since I started this, and I hope that we got 75 more episodes down the road. Yes, and as always, you can catch Wrestling from the 313 Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Follow on any of those platforms. Leave comments. If you're wrestler or anybody in the IWC that's watching right now and you want to come on Wrestling from the 313, reach out to me on Facebook. I will definitely get back to you, or you can reach out to me on TikTok or Instagram as well. We got a cool episode coming next week. A guest that I have, Brian Hubbard, he's coming back on the show. He's got a new podcast that he's starting with his co-host, and his co-host is Michael Elgin. So we're gonna have them on. We're gonna talk about this new podcast they got coming up, and real excited about this episode for next week. So for my guest Tino from the Tino's Time podcast, I am your host Mike D from Wrestling from the 313, and I will see you next Tuesday right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Peace. Deuces.